I think a lot of times we get, comfortable with the fact that Providence does a lot for students in terms of helping them find employers. But really, if you want to stand out, if you want to get a job, you have to be aggressive and go for it.
Hi, Kathryn.
Hi, Sylvia. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing good.
That's great. So before we begin the interview, could you please first start by stating your name, your year, the major and minor that you received from Providence College, and or any education that you received after PC?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Kathryn Maloney. I graduated Providence in 2017, so about 3 years ago. And I was a econ major and a Spanish minor. And I ended up going right into the workforce right after PC, so no additional education thereafter.
That's amazing. So where is it that you're currently employed?
So right now I work for TTI. I'm based out of Stamford, Connecticut, and I've been with them for the last 3 years.
That's amazing. So you kind of hinted at getting a job right after graduation. So how did that process go for you?
Yeah, so honestly, I went to the career fair all 4 years of college and got really lucky. On my fall of senior year, I went to the career fair, and that's how I found TTI, just by walking past their booth and going up to them and sparking a conversation.
That's interesting because that's how I actually know you, from TTI and from coming to the Professor Briggs-Zigian's class to talk to us about TTI and the opportunities that they have and internships that they have there. So that's kind of interesting that's how you got your job. Mm-hmm. So what is your current position or any other position that you've had working at TTI since you've been working there for 3 years?
Yeah, so the past 3 years have been a whirlwind. I started off in a field sales and marketing representative position. So that's our basic entry-level position, doing everything from B2B and B2C sales, and then event marketing and just general merchandising. From there, I went into a territory manager role where I managed about 10 people across the New York City metro area. And then I moved into a regional manager role where I took on a little bit more responsibility, training new managers. And then I joined the recruiting team. So I started off just recruiting for the Northeast, and that's when I got to come back to Providence and recruit on campus. And then now I'm in a national field recruiting manager position where I get to manage 13 direct reports nationwide, everybody that is recruiting on and off college campuses like Providence.
That's amazing. So it seems like in just 3 years, you have climbed the ladder quite fast. Usually it takes more years, so that's amazing. So you talked a little bit about how you found this job after graduation and stuff like that, but what I want to know is, do you think the classes that you took at Providence College helped prepare you?
Absolutely. So I was an econ major, but I was fortunate enough to take a lot of classes in the business school still. I took a lot of marketing classes, management classes, and one of my favorites was Professor Jelinek, or Dr. Jelinek, his sales classes. I think those really are what helped prepare me for the role with TTI and even what I'm doing right now in recruiting, because there's just so much that you learn about just, how to talk to customers, how to build relationships. So even if you go into something outside of sales, you can still benefit from that education.
That's amazing. So what do you think are some tips you would give to the seniors upon looking for a job after graduation in light of everything going on? What do you think is some advice that would not only help you, but would help them now?
Yeah, honestly, it's get ahead, be proactive, and be aggressive with it too. I think a lot of times we get, comfortable with the fact that Providence does a lot for students in terms of helping them find employers. But really, if you want to stand out, if you want to get a job, you have to be aggressive and go for it. So I would say reach out to as many people as you can, talk to a lot of alumni, talk to your, family and friends, and ask them what they do on a day-to-day basis to help you figure out what you want to do. But definitely, aggressiveness, being tenacious and just going after, every opportunity that presents itself.
That's amazing, because I know as Providence College students, we kind of get used to this idea of everything falling into our laps because we have so many resources. We have so many people pushing us and willing to help us. Not a lot of other colleges have that. So I definitely agree. We have to get a little bit more aggressive. So what are some words of motivations that you have for our senior class? Just something to wrap this all with.
Yeah, I would say my biggest piece of advice would be, it's something that I live by. It's a quote, and it's, what can you do today to make a better tomorrow? And the way that I think about that is, what are a couple of things, or at least just one thing that you can do today as a senior at Providence College to help set you up for better success, post-grad. Can you apply to a few jobs today? Can you reach out to a family friend that's maybe in an industry that you're interested in? Break it down into smaller chunks. and try to be proactive with it, because that's how you're going to look back and be happy with the progress that you made throughout, rather than getting close to graduation and scrambling to find a job.
Yeah, I love that advice. That was an amazing way to put it. So thank you so much for that.
Of course. Thank you.